Kendrick Lamar's expose of Drake has opened a can of worms like never before. More and more celebrities, particularly those opposed to Drake, have been exposed by those trying to justify Drake's behavior. One of the most vocal opponents, Metro Boomin, even had his own hashtag created because he too has exhibited similar behavior to Drake. Drake may claim he isn't a pedophile and might want to fight the allegations, but the problem is that the evidence against him is so strong. It's not a question of whether he did something, but rather about how he's been behaving. His interactions with children have reached a level of suspicion that is unsettling to many. The defense from Drake's fans, claiming that Kendrick's song is just recycled tweets, only makes things worse. This suggests that people have been discussing Drake's behavior for years. For example, messaging kids around 14 years old and taking them to dinner might seem normal to some, but it is highly questionable.
I met Drake in an Australian hotel. I was touring and he was touring too, and honestly, his managers just came up to my dad and said, "Drake loves the show, come to his show tonight." And I was like, oh my goodness. And my dad, honestly, he was on T-Mobile, he was on the phone to T-Mobile trying to get us Wi-Fi for Australia. He was like, "I don't know who Drake is." And I was like, "Are you joking me? Drake? He wants to see me?" And I was like, "Okay, we're going." So I got my outfit prepared, I went there, and he was such a fanboy and I was such a fangirl that and honestly we text all the time now. He helps me with everything, like just life lessons. He's amazing, he's a great human being, and we went to dinner afterwards and we had dinner the next day and then we met in Sydney.
What does a grown man have in common with a 14-year-old child so as to take her out 2 nights in a row? This is a child, what are you taking her to dinner to talk about when you're 36? And she's 14, he's actually old enough to be her father. But no, instead, he'd much rather talk to her about boys. And all that random stuff Drake is not known to talk to young boys too, he's not. Mentoring any young boys on the come up or in the film industry. But he instead went for a young girl. I find that strange because it's really not right at all. He probably did not do anything with her to give him the benefit of the doubt, but such behavior is what makes the Kendrick diss tracks go so hard. Because Drake's behavior is very questionable. Had it not been people wouldn't side with Kendrick, had all remember the concert too, where he calls a young lady on stage and begins to more or less hug her from the back, feeling her, before he moves away and asks her age, "Are you going to have me?"
Y'all gonna have me getting carried away again. I get in trouble for shit like this. How old are you? Oh, that's... feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I like the way your breast feel against my chest. I just want to thank you.
After she said 17, he could have easily told her to bounce, as was done by Lil Wayne.
Where you at, man? Hold on. Help this beautiful young lady up on this stage. How old are you, baby? Oh no, put her back. Put her back.
As was done by Eminem and Proof. In fact, Eminem and Proof kicked the girls out even though they claimed to be over 21 because they couldn't believe it to be true. Eminem, like Drake, was 36 at the time, and he absolutely did not want any trouble with kids.
18. Huh?
What you think we should do? We should let the crowd decide.
I don't have my ID on me right now, but I'm 36 years old.
Or how about, I don't have my ID. You're not 18.
She's saying 18.
What year you was born in?
She's saying 18 because
What
that's
month?
the legal age and shit.
What year? What day? You lied. She's lying. You caught her. We caught her, right? Y'all make some noise. We just caught her. We caught her.
Young lady, you gotta go back.
You gotta go back.
You gotta go back.
I'm sorry.
I didn't say you yet. I didn't say you yet. Where's your ID?
What you don't got an ID for? Hey, yo, revoke that pass. Revoke that pass, boy.
This girl's got
Revoke
braces.
the pass. The pass.
This girl's got braces talking about she's 18. Come on.
Hey, yo.
Come on, young lady. Come on.
Let me hear y'all say,
Yo, don't-
she's got to go.
Yo, you heard it by popular demand.
By popular consensus. By popular
I'm
consensus.
sorry.
Popular
Can you get a kiss? You want me to go to fucking jail?
Gotta go, Nicole.
Drake though, in the clip with the 17-year-old girl was about 23 years old himself, and trust me, there's a
In the clip with the 17-year-old girl, Drake was about 23 years old. Trust me, there's a significant difference between 17 and 23 compared to 27 and 33. Drake kissing the girl in the clip was highly inappropriate on many levels. Interestingly, the girl, who is now 31, defended Drake in a long Instagram post and didn't say anything negative about him or his behavior that day. However, as a parent, would you be okay with your 17-year-old child being kissed and held by a 23-year-old? At 23, most people are starting their first job after completing 4 years of university, while 17 is when most people are finishing high school. Some even graduate high school at 18, so she wasn't even there yet. Drake's behavior was questionable, and I don't mean that in a good way. Dogs can sense the age of the dogs they interact with. Despite all this, many people still defend Drake. They don't deny the allegations, as there is ample evidence of his questionable behavior. Instead, they expose those on Kendrick Lamar's side, which doesn't make sense. Other people's guilt doesn't prove Drake's innocence. It highlights a broader problem in the music industry regarding children. For example, the allegations against Diddy also centered on his suspect behavior with kids, including Justin Bieber. R. Kelly glorified his inappropriate behavior in entire songs. In rock music, many famous rock stars have similar accusations. Hollywood has never really protected children and often normalizes their objectification. That's why Bernie Mac refused to have a child sit on his lap, saying, "Put a pin in it." Where are the noble men like Bernie Mac? He may not have been perfect, but he was a man of integrity. The guilt of others doesn't erase the fact that one of the biggest music artists of the last decade has questionable character. It raises important questions that need answers.
Drake though, in the clip with the 17-year-old girl was about 23 years old himself, and trust me, there's a great difference between 17 and 23 than there is between 27 and 33. So Drake kissing the girl in the clip was very inappropriate. On many levels too, and it's so funny that the girl in the clip, who is now 31 years old, put up a long Instagram post where she defended Drake, and said not one bad thing about him or his behavior that day. My question though would be, as a parent, would you be okay with your 17-year-old child being kissed and held by a 23-year-old? You have to remember, 23 years old is the age most people get their first job after having completed 4 years of university, while 17 years old is the year most people complete high school. In fact, a number of people complete high school aged 18. So she wasn't even there yet. Drake has that dog in him. And I don't mean that in a good way. Actually, he doesn't, cause dogs can tell the age of the dogs they deal with. Now, with all this being said, a number of people have still come up to stand up for Drake, not by saying they aren't true, Because obviously there are many receipts of his questionable behavior, but rather by exposing those on the side of Kendrick Lamar. Make it make sense, right? Other people being guilty does not prove Drake's innocence. But what it does do is highlight the problem with the music industry in regard to children. A number of the Diddy allegations were centered on his suspect behavior with kids too. Case in point, Justin Bieber. R. Kelly too had entire songs just glorifying his silly behavior. And if we got into rock music, I could make an entire docuseries about how so many famous rock stars are PDF files. If you'd like to see that, comment it down below. Hollywood as a whole has never really stood for the kids, and they try to make it so normal to objectify the kids. That's why Bernie Mac just told them to put a pin on it when they were asking him to have a kid sit on his lap. Where are the noble men like Bernie Mac? Notice I said noble. He may not be perfect, but he sure was a man of integrity. The guilt of other players, though, does not erase the fact that one of the biggest music artists of the last decade has questionable character. It in fact raises questions. Questions that need answers.
Freak ass nigga, he have 69 guns. Freak ass nigga, he have 69 guns.